I work in the city center building downtown. It was one of those nights at work where I got out 15 or 20 minutes late. I'm always the last one out because part of my responsibilities is to lock up all the cash drawers and things from the day. I park in the Summit County parking deck, especially during the winter or rains. You go through the skywalks to get in between. Walking toward the parking deck, thinking, okay, what to do for dinner that night, trying to wind down, forget things at work. I'd crossed the first one over to City Hall, went around the corner, there's somebody lying on the floor. It's shock. You know, at first you walk around, you don't expect to see that in a skywalk. That skywalk in particular, over the years has had trouble with leaking, so the first thought that came to my mind was somebody hit a wet spot, slipped and fell. But then when I looked at her more, it's like, no, you don't slip and fall face forward. And that's the way the body was. I could tell, that she had went down drastically because she had some file paperwork with her and they were scattered on the floor. Her glasses had went. I could tell whatever had happened was sudden. A gentleman actually that parks just a couple of spaces down from me was already on the phone dialing 911. I threw my lunch bag down. I started, shaking her, just like the training always says, are you okay? Are you okay? Don't disturb you. She wasn't breathing. I knew I was going to have trouble turning her over onto her back. I'm not the biggest person in the world. I weigh 115 pounds on a good day, soaking wet, and she was quite a bit larger. We got her arm pulled out forward so it wouldn't inhibit rolling her, got her onto her back. I definitely remember after getting her rolled over on her back, her eyes were open. And at first, thinking later, I thought that would scare me or freak me out about that, but it didn't. Somehow, it gave me confidence and I talked to her. And I kept telling her, you gotta live, people care about you. You gotta keep doing this. And from the training, I started singing Staying Alive to keep my timing on my compressions to her. And I told her that you gotta stay alive, stay alive, stay alive. And I think that helped. In the meantime, a gentleman actually that parks just a couple of spaces down from me was having trouble giving them the directions. He had it on speakerphone. I could even hear the sirens coming, but I could tell they were having trouble finding out where we were because different skywalks downtown go for several blocks. And, I just kept yelling, come through City Hall, make a left. It was such relief to see them finally come out from City Hall. Just like our trainings always told us, the first responder got there and said, okay, I'll take over compressions. I'd went through many, many trainings over the years on CPR. My first CPR class was when I was 14, part of a Boy Scouts. One of the merit badges had it as a requirement. Literally months before, they had up-to-date compressions only training. It kicks in. Your mind just starts to react and your body reacts, and it's like, okay, I've got to do what I've got to do. That night kept bothering me, not knowing, did she make it? Did she not make it? So I started making phone calls. They continued the CPR and compressions and everything to the emergency room. She did make it a couple days in the hospital. Hopefully it was a relief to the family, not only to know that somebody actually was with her trying to do the best they could, but that she was still alive, that they could at least say goodbye. One of the first thoughts that kept going through my mind was, if that was me, I want somebody to do this for me. More than just make the phone call. Even if they didn't know or ever had been trained in chest compressions, if they'd seen it on TV, knowing that I would want somebody to help me, if that was me, a total stranger, shouldn't matter. Even if it was wrong, even if it was not done properly. And so, yeah, you got to do what you got to do. You got to try to help. How I don't know how somebody couldn't.